Hello friends. Thank you for stopping by to watch this video. Are you thinking about getting a puppy? When you decide to become a dog owner, there are many things to consider. Having a dog as a pet is a privilege, a responsibility, and a challenge that you should never take lightly. Puppies are truly part of our family, and our lives wouldn't be the same without them. Will the breed match your particular lifestyle? Can you free up some time in your day to take care of a dog? If you are thinking about getting a puppy, I hope this video will prepare you for the responsibility that lies ahead, so you can make an informed decision. The last thing you want is to pick up your puppy and later regret it, because you didn't know what you were committing to. So share this video with a friend. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, kindly take this moment to do so. Also, like this video and leave a comment. Thank you. Today's video is going to be about responsible dog ownership. I'm going to share 10 things you must know before getting a puppy. Number 1. Breed-specific laws related to dog ownership. In many countries, there are breed-specific requirements for owning certain types of dogs, and in general, an out-of-control dog is a liability that will be dealt with by law. For example, in the United States, each state and county has its own set of laws that dog breeders and owners have to abide by. And most European countries maintain lists of prohibited dog breeds, such as the Pit Bull, Japanese Tosa, and Fila Brasileiro. And in many other countries, certain breeds including the Pit Bull Terrier, Dogo Argentino, Fila Brasileiro, and Japanese Tosa must be muzzled in public spaces. It's your responsibility as the dog owner to be aware of these requirements to ensure that you abide by the regulations in the area where you live. But nothing gives dog owners a bad name quicker than leaving dog waste all over the place, because dog feces left everywhere create a dirty mess that can spread diseases. As a dog owner, it's always your responsibility to dispose of your dog's waste matter properly. So, whenever you walk your dog, always bring dog poop bags to pick up after your dog had relived himself, and put the used bags in the designated dog poop trash can for disposal. However, it's not a legal obligation for authorities to provide you with appropriate bins, although most do. Something else you might want to consider is that some countries have unique expectations. For example, in the UK, if residential trash contains dog feces, council staff have the right to refuse to collect it. And if your dog's waste creates a smell or a health risk from waste littered in your backyard, neighbors have every right to complain to local authorities. So, if you're in that country, one way to deal with the dog excrement problem in your backyard is to compost it. Another option you have is to use chemical toilets. These are containers that look like buckets that can be partially buried in the ground. They use chemicals to deodorize and break down organic matter placed in them. As a dog owner, it's your responsibility to ensure that your dog is under control. You're expected to train him every day so he won't charge at other dogs, kids, runners, or other park visitors. You also need to be aware that most beaches are off limits to dogs during summer. Parents who take their children to the beach don't want to deal with that mess. So whenever you go to the beach, please pick up after your dog. In most of Europe, the law requires that you pick up and safely dispose of your dog's waste while walking him in built-up urban areas too. And in some states in the US, it's illegal for your dog to urinate on or close to a public building. These regulations are enforced by dog wardens or other authorities working for the county or state. So, depending on the area soiled and the frequency of the offense, penalties vary from a fine to imprisonment. Number 2. Your dog's identity. Your dog cannot speak. He cannot identify himself when he gets lost, so you need to ensure that someone can identify him and return him in case he gets lost. How? One way to do this is to give your dog a collar with an identity disc that has your name and contact details engraved on it. Alternatively, you could microchip your dog. Microchipping involves an outpatient surgical procedure where the device will be implanted under the skin using a needle and special syringe to the area between your dog's shoulder blades. The process is similar to getting a vaccination shot, except that a slightly larger needle is used. In most cases, your dog will experience little to no pain from the implantation. Because many dogs get lost and end up in shelters every year, giving your dog an identity ensures that he can be identified should he get lost, making it possible for him to be returned to you. Number 3. Time requirements and lifestyle changes. A happy human-dog partnership requires time. But how much time does your dog really need? Some breeds, like border collies, require a lot of physical activity, while other smaller breeds? Not so much. Regardless, all dogs need some form of mental stimulation, daily. This can be done through simple games like Find Your Toy in the home, or through more complex activities like obedience or agility training. If you're thinking of getting a dog, you should first examine your lifestyle. Can you create time for your dog? And are you willing to modify your home to accommodate your dog and build a relationship with him? Either way, your dog needs companionship, and dog ownership requires a lifetime commitment. So you're entirely responsible for meeting all of his needs, and you cannot simply declare that you're too exhausted to care. You should prepare for the reality that his needs will take up part of your day, every day for life. Well, at least, for the rest of your dog's lifetime. And he needs you to communicate and interact with him regularly, and not just confine him to the backyard. Number 4. Feeding your puppy. Feeding a young puppy can be very challenging, particularly with large breeds that need to be fed up to 4 times a day. But you must resist the temptation to just leave out a bowl of food so your pup can just free feed. No. Your puppy won't figure it out that he should only eat 4 times a day. Free feeding is a recipe for puppy weight gain, and in some cases your dog will become obese. Now we don't want that. And every time your puppy eats, guess what happens next? He must poop. If your puppy is free feeding, he must poop soon after the meal, so you're going to have a shitload of dog poop all over your home. We don't want that either. You should gradually reduce the number of meals your puppy eats in a day as he grows older. And once he's an adult dog, he should feed just twice a day, any more and he can get bloated, which can be fatal. But the most important thing to consider when making feeding decisions for your dog is to not underfeed or overfeed him. And always, leave a bowl of clean drinking water where he can easily access it. Number 5. Walking your puppy on a leash. Walking your dog is extremely important because regular daily outdoor exercise makes for a happy dog. It doesn't matter if it's raining or if it's snowing, your puppy needs regular daily exercise. You still have to walk him even when you don't feel like it or when the weather is bad. But many people think that dogs innately know how to walk politely on a leash. No, they don't. Walking your puppy on a leash is no easy feat. It's a skill he must learn. Something that you need to train him to do, especially while still young. But why do you need to walk your puppy on a leash? Because your dog is much more likely to hurt himself or others if not on leash. We don't want that. When you get your puppy from the breeder, he will be around 10 weeks old, but he needs to start learning how to go out for a walk. But before you can take him for a walk, you have to train him to accept the leash. How? At first, you will start by letting him get used to wearing a collar or harness for short periods of time in the house, while you are playing with him and giving him treats, and then gradually introduce him to the leash. Your puppy should love collar and leash time because it represents food and fun. As soon as he's fully vaccinated and your vet says it's safe, you should start taking your puppy out to public places once he accepts the leash. He needs to learn how to behave in a variety of environments and situations, meet other dogs and enjoy interacting with different people. How often should you take your puppy for a walk? Every 3 to 4 hours. And as a rule of thumb, take your puppy's age in months and then multiply it by 5 to work out how many minutes your puppy can walk during each session. So, if you're working an 8-hour workday, maybe a young puppy isn't for you. Try getting an adult dog instead, which will need between 1 to 2 hours of exercise per day, and you can do that twice a day, morning and evening. Going for a daily walk can provide your dog with more than just bathroom breaks. it will quickly become the highlight of his day. His daily walks will allow him to get physical exercise and mental stimulation, as well as a chance to keep tabs on the neighborhood. Whilst on the leash, you should walk your puppy at a walking pace. It's also advisable to take your puppy for short walks only. If your puppy sits down or lies down during his walk, allow him some time to rest. So give him a moment until he chooses to start walking again. Where your dog chooses to go to the bathroom is an important decision. It's not just about relieving himself. It's about communicating with the world at large. So don't rush bathroom breaks. Dogs use their urine to signal their presence to other dogs, and they also want to sniff and explore. Number 6. Socializing your puppy. Socializing your puppy is the key to ensuring you have a happy, confident, and well-adjusted dog. The goal is to gradually help your puppy become acclimated to all types of sights, sounds, and smells in a positive manner. So, when should you start socializing your dog? Before you even bring your puppy home, the socializing process should start with the breeder during your puppy's first 3 months of life. This will permanently shape his future personality and how he will react to his environment as an adult dog. And once he moves in with you, by gently exposing him to a wide variety of people, places, and situations, you will make a huge and permanent difference in his temperament. According to the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior, improper socialization can lead to behavior problems later in life. The sad thing is that statistics show that behavioral issues, not infectious diseases, are the #1 cause of death for dogs under 3 years of age. It's important that your dog isn't a nuisance to other dogs or people in parks, or to people who live near you. And so, socializing your dog is a huge responsibility to ensure that he is well adjusted to meet other dogs and people. If your dog has to be left alone, he shouldn't be allowed to bark or constantly howl and annoy neighbors. And if he does, it's up to you to find a solution that will benefit both your dog and the neighbors. When introducing all of these new experiences to your puppy, make sure he's getting an appropriate amount of treats and praise. This will make him associate those new experiences with something fun. Number 7. Cleaning and grooming your puppy. Some dogs can get really dirty. When they see mud, they will walk in it, lie down in it, and roll around in it. Other dogs just hate taking baths. How your puppy behaves really depends on his personality. But when it comes to bathing them, you must avoid using human products, especially human shampoo, which disrupts the acid mantle in the dog's skin, leaving your dog vulnerable to parasites, viruses, and bacteria. You really shouldn't use other human grooming appliances on your dog. That means no to human hair dryers. They heat up, and that can be uncomfortable for your dog. Instead, use a special dog dryer that's not too hot and essentially just blows the water off the fur. And after bathing him, you must also brush his fur and trim his toenails. You will find that dog bath time is truly a true time commitment. This is your time to cuddle and bond. Number 8. Training your dog. Training your dog has several elements. We already talked about socializing your dog and the importance of that. Also about training your dog to be on a leash. But there are other forms of training your dog requires. So now, we're going to look at house training and crate training. House training, also called housebreaking or potty training, is one of the first things you need to work on with your dog. Unless you plan to keep your dog outdoors. But when it comes down to it, consistency and diligence are key during the housebreaking process. Dogs are den creatures that love being confined in enclosed spaces. And so the most efficient approach to housebreaking your dog is crate training. This is by far the most effective way to make sure they don't destroy your home. Not only will crate training help with housebreaking, it will also give your dog a place of his own. The crate is his place to rest after playing. He sleeps there. He hangs out there. So he's not going to pee in there because it's such an enclosed space. Proving just how much he loves his crate. And even if you open the door, he shouldn't feel the need to run out. Because this is his home and he loves it in there. Obedience training is the other important piece of training. You have to start with basic dog commands and tricks that every dog should know, like come, speak, drop it, stay, back up, etc. Basic commands give your dog structure and can help you overcome common dog behavioral problems. They will also help keep your dog safe. Once your dog has mastered all the basics, you can consider moving on to more advanced tricks. These are particularly important for keeping your dog active, fit, and mentally stimulated. Plus, they will help strengthen the bond you share with your canine companion. Number 9. Shedding fur and the drool. The struggle is real, especially for big breeds. When it comes to shedding fur, you need to do thorough research before you choose the dog breed that you want, because if you're not ready to handle the mess that comes with shed fur, it can get a bit overwhelming. Your dog will naturally shed fur a lot at certain points in the year, so you don't have to worry about this because for most dogs, shedding is an essential part of their skin and fur health. This is when they rid themselves of old and otherwise damaged hair. The amount of fur your dog sheds depends on the breed, the time of year, and whether he has a single or double layer of fur. The challenge comes when shed fur spreads all over your house, on your furniture, clothes, and even on your bed. You can't keep your dog from shedding, but you can get a breed that doesn't shed as much. Drooling is normal with some big breeds, but be warned. The drool struggle is real, because, holy moly, how much drool there is. Drool in food. Drool on clothes. Drool on mirrors. Drool everywhere. Number 10. The cost struggle is real too. Owning a dog is a long-term financial and emotional commitment, but it comes with so many rewards. Outside feeding your dog on a high-quality diet, training classes, professional grooming, and paying for basic pet supplies, you also need to keep in mind the practicalities of owning a dog so you can plan your finances to be able to afford things like vet visits and vaccinations. Because when your dog gets sick, the bills can really stack up. Vet fees include both treatment and regular vaccinations, which are a must to keep your dog healthy throughout its life. And there's also a legal requirement in most countries for dogs to be vaccinated. And in countries where rabies exists, there are particular laws that apply to that. But how much does it cost to be a dog parent? According to an article by the Dog People, the average monthly cost of owning a dog ranges from $40 to $290. These costs also vary greatly depending on where you live, your lifestyle, and your unique dog. Factor in routine vet visits and ongoing pet supplies and you can find yourself spending anywhere from $480 to $3,470 per year. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to see more of this type of content, please subscribe to this channel. And if you don't want to miss any content I upload in the future, turn on the notification bell to ensure that you get an alert. Thank you for watching this video. As always, stay happy and healthy. And I'll see you at the next one.